it is today if it wasn't for the essential utilization of Black people, Black relationship topics, and Black talent. And the talent came from all over. When you include the likes of an Andrew Tate, all the way down to a Brittany Renner. And even from a content creator perspective, from me to a Melanie King, to a Sarah Garvey, to a King Riches, to an Auntie Jenny. So for those just unaware of what's been going on, Pearl has recently come under fire for these particular comments.
I'm trying to get my Africans in America, my Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna get trouble. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible. It was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now, what's crazy is that I came across these comments while I was live streaming a couple of days ago. And what started out as a laughy, jokey live stream where I wanted to talk about my time up in London quickly diverted to one of the worst live streams that I've ever had in my life. And honestly, it was a trip to hell as I discovered the magnitude of the conversation that she had with this figure by the name of Nick Fuentes. Specific to the comments regarding slavery being embellished, I said this on the stream and I maintain it today, that Pearl needs to be held responsible for this comment. Likening a quote from the writer of Roots explaining a myth for his people to hold on to does not negate the documented history of the atrocities that happened to Black people. And I'd argue that Roots was a light depiction of the savagery that my forefathers had to go through to ensure that I would be here today. But let me explain a little bit further how thoroughly that this actually is, because for me, it comes down to a question of ethics. You're interviewing a known Nazi sympathizer and an anti-Black creator and not offering any pushbacks whatsoever. And in fact, you're adding in your own fake news regarding the embellishment or the exaggeration of slavery. Additionally, there are times within the conversation where it's laughy, it's jokey, it's kikiing, especially when you got specific in certain comments that reflected on CP time. And let me also say this, is that generally CP time is something that's laughed amongst people of melanation, but it's not taken as a joke when you're doing it with a person who is a self-proclaimed racist. Now that I've had the opportunity to digest all of the information, now that I'm not on live stream with thousands of people looking at me, and in the back of my mind, thinking towards the tens of thousands that are waiting for the perfect reaction from me, I begin to question why you didn't sympathize with the plight of African Americans or Black people in general. And not once in the interview did you have at least one pro-Black stance or some form of ethical defense or cultural sensitivity for the people who carry your production machine forward, or the people that you know that watch your channel. That's questionable.
He's angry at a white person for not taking a pro-Black stance against Nick Fuentes.
Because she hires Black people. Just what I'm saying.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because she hires Black people. What's wrong with hiring Black people?
Nothing.
What's wrong with a Black person hiring white people? Nothing.
Nothing.
So what's the issue? Yeah. Like is using that as an excuse. Now, he mentioned the Roots. How much do you know about the Roots?
No, I don't know what that is. Apart from the hip hop band.
What was it? A movie or something like that, right? She's saying that she tried to embellish or try to make slavery look less worse than what it, you know what I mean? Do you know what I think needs to happen with people? People need to start reading what really took place during slavery. Because to me, it's the same arguments that's, you know, Kanye West and the whole, issue with the Jews and all of that type of stuff, right? Yeah. And him being banned from every single platform. Was he banned from every single platform? Or he lost businesses,
Yeah, but funnily with that, he's accusing Nick Fuentes of being a neo-Nazi and anti-black. But Nick Fuentes works for Kanye West.
Yes, and Nick Fuentes...
So how can he be anti-black if he works for...
And Nick Fuentes admitted that he likes black women. He actually finds black women attractive. On that interview that he's still what they were doing is, you see, whenever you talk about anything, you have to be specific and you have to have some level of knowledge on it. What I've noticed is a lot of people will talk about slavery and they don't actually know what took place in slavery. They don't actually know the history. They don't know how it started. They don't actually know the inside, the facts. They just stick to this emotional. It's almost like you're not allowed to say anything about that because I have a different opinion from you. It's when I don't want to get what happened. No one is saying that slavery isn't evil. Okay, it's evil. All right, and I don't think that she would have tried and make light of the issue. Do you see what I'm saying? But to accurately speak about something these days is perceived as something bad because it hurt my feelings. Same thing that happened to Kanye West. He expressed how he felt. Okay. To me, the words that he used was a bit, you know what I mean? Like he shouldn't have used that type of language. But apparently it was done on purpose to get attention or whatever. You know what I mean? But anyways, if you mention anything in regards to that, you see what I'm saying? You get cancelled, or if you're big enough you get cancelled, you get what and whatnot. It's almost as if we can't talk about and give our opinion, and be critical about anything because this group of people will feel offended. This group of people will feel offended. And I'm like, it all comes down to how much knowledge you have on the subject and how much do you actually know about what took place and what didn't take place. Do you see what I'm saying? Right now, he's not offering. Okay, why? What did she say that was wrong? What is it? This is what I want to know. What did she actually say that was, okay, you know what did she make fun of slavery? I don't think she made fun of slavery. So what's the issue?